The island of Ireland is surrounded by rich seas, over 10 times the area of our land mass. They may seem vast and inhospitable, but Ireland is blessed with a shallow continental shelf, meaning that below the surface they are full of rich and diverse life forms, which are constantly working for our benefit. They regulate our temperate climate, filter our waste, absorb our carbon, and can provide us with a rich and healthy source of food. Ireland's shallow, light-filled waters provide ideal conditions for phytoplankton, tiny organisms that use sunlight to absorb carbon dioxide and act as a food source for our marine species. Phytoplankton is the largest global source of carbon capture on Earth, capturing an estimated 40% of all carbon dioxide produced, 4 times the amount captured by rainforests. Not only does phytoplankton capture enormous amounts of carbon dioxide, but it feeds biogenic reefs, young spawning fish, jellyfish, mussels, scallops, sand eels, sharks and whales. In turn, these species feed starfish, seals, dolphins, porpoises, sharks, and a rich network of rare seabirds. The extensive phytoplankton contents found in Irish waters account for the incredible richness of our seas. This rich marine habitat is an essential food source for our coastal bird species, many of which, like the puffin, kittiwake, razorbill and terns, are currently threatened to extinction. Phytoplankton is a primary producer. Simply put, if phytoplankton dies, the food web will collapse and the sea will be without life. Seagrass sequesters 35 times more carbon than tropical rainforests. In Ireland, seagrass, like phytoplankton, has no protection. However, the science illustrates that the benefits of these habitats is massive. Protecting these marine areas is a really important component in decarbonising our planet. Globally, human pressures are driving the unprecedented decline of marine species. The primary drivers are human activities such as habitat destruction and overexploitation. Ocean species have declined by 39%, and top predatory fish have been reduced by 90%. In many areas, indiscriminate and unconfined fishing practices, such as bottom trawling, have left our sea floors in tatters, unable to act as viable fish spawning grounds. A new risk to our oceans and seas is on the horizon. Along with oil and gas exploration, new technologies like liquefied natural gas storage, wave and tidal developments, and wind farms threaten our marine species and habitats. These large industrial developments, when built in wrong locations, can cause reduction in phytoplankton contents, destruction of marine and fish spawning habitats, and reductions in vulnerable bird and marine mammal species. Marine protected areas are areas of the ocean that let nature rewild and restore. Currently, we have less than 3% of Irish seas protected. 30% needs to be designated by 2030. On a European level, the Marine Spatial Planning Directive obliges us to develop a marine spatial plan. This is a way of analysing and deciding what activities can go where in our marine environment. This has not happened. Our government did not include marine protected areas in this process, and by leaving them outside of the process, we have not met the requirements of the Marine Spatial Planning Directive. Fair Seas, supported by NGOs such as Irish Wildlife Trust, Birdwatch Ireland, Swan, Friends of the Irish Environment, Irish Whale and Dolphin Group, Camola Salmon Trust, Irish Environmental Network and Coast Watch seek to protect, conserve and restore Ireland's unique marine environment. Fair Seas have used a scientific approach to identify areas of highest biodiversity that should be protected. Our government designation must follow a similar scientific approach. If we don't protect areas rich in biodiversity, we and our children will see less life in our seas. The seas, our largest carbon sink, will no longer be absorbing carbon and the climate crisis will escalate. The protection of biodiversity is necessary for human survival. The climate and biodiversity emergencies go hand in hand, and the solution to both rely on a scientific approach to marine spatial planning. Imagine a healthy ocean, its abundance and vitality restored with healthy seabeds and fish stocks. Imagine cheap, clean, renewable energy placed in suitable areas that minimise impacts on our seas. We can create that future with a scientific, ecosystem-based approach to marine spatial planning.